All right, man. Let's talk about Brad Holmes. He did his post draft press conference yesterday. He unpacked some things in that post draft press conference. Let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Now, he said that there were some guys that were already gone on a board that that were gone, and that went into the factor of them moving down. And most people assume Devin Witherspoon's the guy. Seattle took him. Um, I don't know who else could have been the guy. I think Will Anderson was a guy. I think it was too rich to move up for his blood for Will Anderson. I believe Houston gave up 12, they second round, they first next year and the third next year to get him. Uh, so the guys that went, hit ahead of 6 were Devin Witherspoon, Anthony Richardson, Will Anderson, C.J. Stroud, and obviously Bryce Young with number 1 overall. So he basically said they decided to move back. So I'm guessing that, Jahmyr Gibbs was, it was a bit of a reach to take him at number 6. And I'm gonna talk about taking, possibly taking Bijan Robinson at that possible position as well too. So, but nonetheless, he said that it possibly was too rich for their blood. I guess in my opinion, it was too rich for their blood, and they decided to move down. So I'm pretty sure Will Anderson, Devin Witherspoon were the guys that he was looking at. They were already gone. Houston jumping back up there. I told Lions fans that y'all can hope all y'all want to. That wasn't gonna happen. All right. So I think those are the guys that he wanted. Outside of that, you had some people. He didn't address Jalen Carter. Tyree Wilson actually had a broken foot, so I guess him going what he went through with Josh Pascal last year. Him going what he went through the year before his first draft with Levi Anazorki, going through what they went through with Jamison Williams and getting off to that slow start. Romeo Core. Before he got here, Jeff Okudah had an injury and all. And last year, Jeff Okudah, after last, when his first season with Jeff Okudah, he had an injury. Okay, so I guess he kind of looking at how it hurt the team, and he need to be more on the cautious side when it comes to drafting guys with injury. Now, can Anthony Richardson or C.J. Stroud have been in the play? I'm not sure, but yeah, he basically talked about Jahmyr Gibbs and said that it won't affect DeAndre Swift in the decision, but then again, he used the key word like yet. Now, it won't affect DeAndre Swift yet, or as of right now, he's still on the team. But we picked Jahmyr Gibbs with kind of no thought of moving DeAndre Swift as an addition with DeAndre Swift, but he used yet, and he also used we'll see down the line. So I think most people, I did a video on it Thursday morning. I think most people believe that that he's gonna be the pick. I mean, he's gonna get traded at some point. They did trade a 3rd round pick where Arizona. I think a lot of people were baffled about. I think a lot of people were baffled about the 3rd round pick with sending it to Arizona and we taking the 5th. I think it was. So I think a lot of people was kind of baffled about that. So the whole DeAndre Swift thing is, it is what it is. It is what it is. In my personal opinion, I think he gone. And that's just my opinion. And that's just my humble opinion. But yeah, I think he gone. Yeah, I think he gone. So, but you know, nonetheless, I think nonetheless, bro, he had to. You know, he had to be gone. Now he also talked about, and I'm gonna get to Jack Campbell. All right. He also talked about, you know, they kind of preferred Bijan Robinson. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs over Bijan Robinson. You know, and obviously, if Bijan Robinson was there at 6, they had an opportunity to take him. Okay. So obviously, you know, this draft gonna be measured against a couple of things the Lions fans favor. Anybody that was at 6, you know, Jalen Carter, Tyree Wilson, you know, coming off a broken foot. I understand, you never know. Yeah, I don't think he got a chance to work out because they said the laceration from the surgery he couldn't sweat or it's gonna kind of mess up the the cut. Um, so I think he basically said that, because he went to the Alabama Texas game and that's when he first discovered Jahmyr Gibbs. He said that's when I kind of first peep game with Jahmyr Gibbs, and then the reporter came back and said down later in a press conference, you also seen Bijan Robinson and kind of poking around there, and he basically knew what he was saying. He said, who, basically, if you asking where Holmes said who's better, Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson, he gave Bijan Robinson some love. He said he's more of a work bell cow running back, but for us, Jahmyr Gibbs was the better option for us and what we were looking to do. And he said, I know a lot of people were shocked that we moved up for Jahmyr Gibbs, or we moved to 12 and took Jahmyr Gibbs early, but we don't really categorize him as just a running back. And he said also that once he took Jahmyr Gibbs at 12, that team started texting him that they were going to take him around the 15 range. So at 15, the Jets possibly was considering him. The Packers could have been considering him. The Steelers, the football team. So he basically saying the teams were going to move up had they passed on Jahmyr Gibbs right around the 15 mark and try to get Jahmyr Gibbs. So but he says for Jahmyr Gibbs, for them, is a better fit than Bijan Robinson. So only history to tell. And they see Jahmyr Gibbs, this is my synopsis, my opinion. They see Jahmyr Gibbs as a compliment to David Montgomery, who can just splash in there and do the things they wanted DeAndre Swift to do. And I didn't know he came from Georgia Tech, I think. Or did Kenneth Hall come from Georgia Tech or Wake Forest? I think Kenneth Hall came from Kenneth Walker, excuse me. I think he came from Wake Forest. I could be wrong. Uh, but yeah, I thought he came from. I was kind of thinking. I kind of get them mixed up. They got similar colors. He came from Wake Forest. Okay, I was like, damn, Wake. They got some great backs. They getting rid of, or they got rid, they left. But so yeah, that's what he said. And on Jack Campbell, he said that Jack Campbell was by far the best player on their board. Obviously, a lot of people probably was angry they didn't get Cansey, who went one pick later. And obviously, Brad Holmes didn't see Aaron Donald to him. I was a little upset they didn't get Jackson Smith-Njigba, Zay Flowers. Um, Minnesota replaced Adam Thielen with Jordan Addison. That's a great pick. And he basically said that Jack Campbell. Well, he did say Jack Campbell was the best player on their board. So he did say Jack Campbell was the best player on their board by far. He said, could they had, moved back and did it, he said that, they never really considered moving back from 18. He said there may be some offers, but he never considered it. And Jack Campbell was, by far the best player on their board. He said he didn't see any superior pass rushers or other superior players there to Jack Campbell. So he also said that the Lions fans are going to be very pleased with Jack Campbell and Jahmyr Gibbs, that they're going to come in and make an impact right away. He says that, people thought Jack Campbell was just a tackler and a run plugger. But he says the more and more they looked at him at 6'5", 250 or 249, he said he got some good he's a captain, he's instinctive. And he could do some things in coverage. He got some he could do some, really good things in coverage. He said that he thought he pro kind of like put him in the category, but he said the more he watched them, the more they really fell in love with some things that he liked to do that he did that he can do at that size. And like I said last night, his athleticism is comparable to Eric Kendricks, who's 5 inches shorter or 4.5 inches shorter. Fred Warner, who's almost a couple inches shorter. He do some things in coverage, and they don't ask Alex Anzalone to get out there in a lot of space a lot of the time. So I think for them he a fit, and I think he better covers. People say, well, he can't cover in space. I don't think they're gonna be asking him to cover in space. So, but he says, yeah, they didn't really consider moving back to try to get him. He was the best player on their board, and he also said, they got some calls to jump back at the end of the first round. He said they feel like basically being the second pick in the second round. Um, he really said it really wasn't no need to do so. So for the third pick, because Arizona got the Houston second round pick, so they get the third pick. So they got 3 picks tomorrow. They got 34, the third pick in the second. They got the 17th pick in the second, 48, and also the 24th pick in the second, 55. So in a good position. Yeah, but that's what he had to say. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop a video. Financially, want to support the channel? Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, or Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Also, check me out on TikTok, Motor City Talk 313. I update the link tree when I get an opportunity. Appreciate the love, support, peace.